Alright, this is what you're going to need. You're going to need some kind of brake fluid, .3, .4, or .5.1. Do not use .5. We have multiple RBF 600, or you could use RBF 660. They're both really, really good brake fluids. We have a 8mm brake bleeding tool from Motion Pro. Really, really like this. Some kind of a hose and a catch can. If you don't have this tool, just use a 8mm box wrench. And you'll also need a T20 Torx driver to remove the cap for your master cylinder. And for the rear, you're going to need a 11mm box wrench for the brake nipple. Alright, so we're just going to take our Motion Pro brake bleeder. If you don't have this, just put an 8mm on this and then put your hose over or something to catch with. So it's pretty cool. There's a rubber O-ring or seal in here. Nothing leaks out, it goes straight into the hose. We'll attach that, and then we'll go up and loosen our master cylinder. So we just wrapped some paper towels, or you could use shop towel, whatever, around the master cylinder. Just in case any brake fluid comes out, because brake fluid is really corrosive. It'll eat through paint, powder coating, seen it eat through hard anodizing even on aluminum parts. So we're just using our T20 Torx to remove the master cylinder cap. It's a good time to get your buddy to help you. Careful when you depress it, or else you could shoot fluid out, but just press, pump it a couple times, hold it, and then you tell your other buddy to open, and then close, and then release. You don't want to release while the nipple is still open, because it could pull air back into your brake system. So when your brake fluid gets low, just make sure you have your guy fill it up and keep pumping. After you see that the brake fluid has changed from the old darker color and you see fresh brake fluid, you know your system is drained from all the old fluid. Then you could stop. Also make sure when you're done with that to pull on the brake lever. If you feel it's still squishy, you need to keep bleeding the brake system. Just make sure your master cylinder cap, the rubber is depressed, like that. As brake fluid is really corrosive, turn it away from the gas tank. Spray some on a shop rag. Clean up any brake fluid that you spilled, especially if any got on your tank or any other parts of the bike. Just take a look, as it will eat through your paint over time if you let it sit. When you're done, just remove the brake bleeder. That's this side. Make some brake cleans. And then clean up any brake fluid that may have dripped. You can see the brake fluid's pretty dark. That's a good sign that your brake fluid's gone bad. So if you see this before you hop on the bike, say, okay, it's probably time to change the rear brake fluid. And if the rear is bad, likely your front's also bad. So. So now we're going to remove our rear nipple cover. I guess the back doesn't have that nice little 8mm like the front does. So we'll use our 11mm box wrench. Slip on our bleeder. So what we're going to do is we're going to pump, hold, open, close. pump so it feels stiff. Hold, open, close. And then now when you see your reservoir get low, what we want to do is like the front. First time you do it, you want to get it really low and then pour your fluid in. That way you don't mix a lot of your new fluid with a lot of your old fluid. So you'll have more of the new stuff and it'll be faster flushing out the old system. Pump, hold. When you're done, put the cap back on. Make sure it's between the max and the minimum level. We're just gonna top it up almost to the top. That should be good. Make sure your little pressure bladder, I guess, whatever these are called, is pressed in. Brake clean on a rag. Clean up any brake fluid that you may have dripped off. Look at the difference, much clearer. Same thing with the back this time. Make sure it's tight, but not too tight. You don't want to be stripping or marring the inside of that. Brakes, make sure they're nice and firm, and then go for before you do your first test ride. Don't just go out and say, oh, I bled the brakes, and go to work or wherever you go and just get on the brakes. Get you tested out, feel if they're squishy, feel if they feel nice and firm. If they don't, then you have to start the process over again.